Hello, everybody. My name's Rick McCutcheon, and today on Partner Talks, I have Chuck Ingram from congruentX. Chuck, introduce yourself and tell us about your organization.
By the way, I love this guy, Rick McCutcheon. He's so dedicated his career over the last few years to helping partners be better, which is it's awesome.
And it's a
I
lot
love
of fun.
servant leaders, and that's
Okay.
what we started this company for, right? And so thank you for having me. My name is Chuck Ingram, as Rick said. I live here in Atlanta, where everything is green right now. And it's the springtime, and I serve the company as a CEO, and my firm's name is congruentX. And basically what we do is we help companies get more value from their revenue focused technology like CRM. And we do this by helping them to align their people. So think of like customers and team members and the technology that they buy, because that doesn't always work the way we want it to. And we do that around business outcomes so they can drive more revenue, drive customer satisfaction and all that fun stuff.
So Chuck,
That's what we do.
So talk a little bit about you're a fairly new firm. You're less than 2 years old. So talk about sort of why you built this firm, and then, when it was built and what happened right away.
So I've been in the CRM space for a very long time, almost like you, Rick. And it was like a lot of things, was born out of almost like a frustration. We just thought that 50% CRM satisfaction, or whatever the number is now, it's not any better, is not okay. Yeah, so I'm a CRM guy. I've been a CRM guy since the late 90s. And I watched it grow. It's like a $50 billion industry now. It's going to 80. But I've seen the results be sort of just this flip of the coin. I wish I had a coin in my hand. But it really is. People are not happy with it like half the time. And so on one hand, we're blessed. We're in the CRM business and it's growing like crazy and people are buying it. On the other hand, this is the thing that I picked to do and with my life. So if I'm a Uber driver, I don't want to hit the guardrail, 50% of the time. If I'm a doctor, I don't want the patient to kind of limp out of my office 50% of the time. So it's just, enough is enough. I want to, let's see if there's another way. And the interesting thing is it's even more important now, because we were talking before we started about working from home and so forth. And, people been at home. And when you're at home, you have Alexa, you have Siri, you have Cortana, all this stuff. And you just talk to it and you get context and stuff shows up at your house. And all of a sudden customer experiences which were already growing, are now through the roof. And then you go back to work and you get this form that's 6 feet long in your CRM and you can't find what you need to help your client. So it's even more important now than it was. So we decided to sort of just solve for that. We, it's kind of like when you want to, if you ask different questions, sometimes you get different answers. So we said, instead of asking about scope and go live, I said, what do you want to do? What are your customers asking you that you can't do? So if you start to talk about clients and not projects and outcomes instead of how many hours, the way you approach it ends up being a lot different. And for us, it ended up in almost like a different business model and a different way that we approach it. So we changed the way we deliver the technology, and we think a little bit different about the way that people consume technology these days. And we help them get congruent, is what we like to say.
And when you first told me you were going to do this, I thought, this is excellent, because, I spent about 20 years doing sales process design for companies.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Someone would call me and say, okay, they're not using the CRM system. And I said, okay, I'll come down and have a look. And I'd start working with the sales team. And they had a CRM sitting over here where they put data in, and they had their sales process over here and built an Outlook and Excel, right? And I'm going, well, this is not going to work. We got to get this working over here. And, to be honest with you, many partners just ignored this. and went in and say, okay, what's the spec? I'll build the spec. And they built the spec, and nobody came to the spec. And I think that, I think, you're bang on talking about this, that things have to change.
One of my favorite business people, and I actually worked for him. He was a billionaire CEO, and I was just in the company, was a guy named Roger Milliken. And he said, steal shamelessly and give credit. So one of my favorite things that I try to keep in mind and remind our team of is something that a friend of yours and a friend of mine said, Scott Millwood. And Scott says people don't want to do CRM. So you think about like what you want to do in your daily life. I got a meeting. I want to get ready for this meeting. I got to do a forecast for my boss. I've got, clients calling and they've got a problem. I need, in order to do that, I don't need CRM. I need context.
Yes.
I don't need, and I don't need controversial point by Chuck. I don't need a 360-degree view to get ready for a meeting.
and I've got this block of time. So I've got to go through this giant sheet of CRM fields to get to where I got to go.
360-degree view. I want to end the CRM, but I want presented to me context, intelligent context to help me get ready for the thing that I got to do right now.
Yes. And, a lot of people design CRM so they can design rules around how people work. And I'm telling you, your best salespeople don't work your rules, right? There are a group of salespeople that will, but they're not your high producers. So you've got to really put something in place that your high producers want. So I think you guys are doing that, Chuck.
It's working out pretty good so far. I don't have to dodge things in the grocery store when I see clients, and nobody's throwing stuff at me. And I can call them, and they're nice and they're happy, and it's working great.
So
it's way better than 50%.
Yes. So what technology that are you using now that you're getting excited about, and what do you see coming down the pike that's even going to help you more?
The Power Platform is super duper exciting to us for a couple of reasons. One, the way we work with clients ends up, not always, but in a lot of times, like a subscription model. So one thing that helps us to not overwhelm people with features up front, and it also helps us to course correct over time. And one thing that you want to do is course correct, like we talked about with a car, like if you've been in with the new cars that have the auto steering, it kind of goes like that. The way we do projects right now don't make those course corrections. It's like a fire and forget.
Yes.
And so if one way to do that is to continually talk to the client through the course of the subscription, which is good. And we do that. The other is to monitor. So you can monitor what people are using or what they're not using, if they're getting outcomes that they wanted. So the Power Platform we found is pretty unique in letting us kind of build little point solutions that help us monitor what's going well and what's not going well. And part two, and perhaps even more important, this new customer experience, it's all happening at the edge. It's outside in, not inside out. And the old way is sort of inside out in kind of the monolithic CRM solution. So what we're finding is we can build a Power App that still talks to your CRM, but it helps you get ready for a meeting, or it helps you do your forecast, or it helps you. So without changing out their monolithic sort of CRM, we can help a client get massive value and where they can say, we spent this and we got this and it's done this for the business. So we're super duper excited about the Power Platform, especially because it brings in sort of with the low code approach. You can do things really, really fast and get outcomes and see if it worked and try something different. Make sense?
That makes sense. So is there anything coming down the road that's really going to help you take it to the next level?
I think that the more that Microsoft does with AI, the more exciting. And we got pretty pumped about Dataverse because we have some clients that they're not asking for us for CRM. They just, we have a one client that does transcriptions, and yeah, the old way is you and I, oh, it's XRM, we build XRM, and
Yes.
she didn't really need that. So we built something on Dataverse and Teams that they can use. So excited about the, if you're, I'm a guitar player, so I like to, I have a whole bunch of different guitars, probably way too many, and but they're good for different things. So if I just had one guitar, it would kind of encourage me to play one certain way. Now that I've got these new tools, I can go and try to solve for different things. So that's what we're excited about, is the Power Platform is helping us to help our clients get more value out of their CRM. Because what I'm seeing, and I believe you probably would agree with this, is CRM is still growing, still big, still important, but it's kind of becoming a system of record,
Yes,
a little bit more than a system of engagement. And system of engagement can be in Teams or in Outlook, or, I have a Power App I use every single day that we built called credibly.ai. It helps me get ready for meetings.
So I kind of look at it like the CRM's moving towards the ERP, right? It's becoming part of that system of record, as you say, but it's not contact management.
No.
And that's what salespeople want, is contact management. So contact management is all about Outlook, all about Teams, all about Power Apps. So because we can pull that stuff into our CRM now and lock it together, I think that's going to be the key.
Absolutely. And give the sales rep context for what they need to do. The days that and you're an expert at this, the days of showing up and saying, tell me about your business, are gone. You have to show up, and that stuff's not in most people's CRM. So sometimes you have to look in multiple places for things. So with the Power Platform, we can go and look in CRM, and we can go look in this place, and this place, and this place, and pull that data together and enrich it around that specific thing that salesperson or customer technologist or customer tech or whatever it is trying to do. So that's what gets us pretty excited here.
Okay, Chuck, it's been a pleasure speaking with you about sales productivity. I'll be coming back in the future and hearing more about what's going on in your organization and how you're helping people. So thanks for your time, and have a great day.
You too, Rick. Thanks so much.